Hey, Planeswalkers, Mithras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Today, I got a fun, exciting top deck for you. One that I wanted to circle back around on, and this particular one and version comes to us from the Zendikar Rising Championship. So very excited. We're going to walk through the main board. We're going to walk through the sideboard. We'll pull those two together in a how to sideboard for our best of 3 matches. And we'll go play some competitive Magic here, both best of 1 and best of 3. But before we go and check that out, Planeswalkers, as always, I'd just like to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on daily drops like this. Other ways to support the channel down below in the description. Also, feel free to become a YouTube member. I just recently launched that and looking forward to you joining me there with some other additional content and ways to interact. All right, Planeswalkers, what do we have going on today? Well, before we go ahead and jump into the deck tech here, feel free, the timestamps are below in the description, and hop to the portion of the video that you would like to watch. All right, so let's see what we got going on. We have a Esper Yorion Doom deck. So Planeswalkers, I've been very excited about this one. This particular version runs and hails to us from Andrea Minucci. So congratulations, Andrea. I know you had a really nice MPL weekend, I believe it was, right before the Zendikar Championship. Unfortunately, I know you didn't win it, but wanted to cover your deck. So very excited about this version of the Esper Yorion. So for those of you that are new, those of you that are returning, deck list is available for you down below in the description. You have access to it right away. Additionally, deck links down there as well. Now, Esper Yorion Doom is broken through the naming convention of Esper, which is blue, black, and whites, or islands, swamps, and plains, to give us the Esper. Now, with that, we have Yorion because of this. So the Yorion companion here, and I'll spend a minute here covering this card. So it is a companion card. It's got flying. Our starting deck contains at least 20 cards more than a minimum deck. So in this case, we are running 80 cards. And then when Yorion enters the battlefield, we get to blink a bunch of non-land permanents we control, and then return those to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. And then last but not least, the other key piece of this deck is Doom Foretold, so giving us the full name Esper Yorion Doom. Here it's an enchantment at the beginning of each player's upkeep. That player sacrifices a non-land, non-token permanent. If that player can't, they discard a card, they lose 2 life. We draw a card, we gain 2 life, and we create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. Then we sacrifice Doom Foretold. So Planeswalkers, very powerful card, lots of things going on. Objectively, the piece here is really about controlling the early game, moving into a successful mid game, and wrapping things up with things like Doom Foretold, and then leveraging other cards like Dance of the Manse and some of the other things that we have here to eventually either chip away or overcome our opponent from that mid to late game. So very excited about this deck. If you do have questions or comments, let me know down below. We're quickly going to cover everything here in its totality in a quick pass by because I like us to think about it from a holistic point of view before we drill into each of the cards by themselves. So very nice list here. We are running a healthy 32 lands. Obviously, I think we have some modals in here too, like Clearwater Pathway, but no, maybe we're missing that on my first one. I don't believe no modals. Oh, sorry, Amiria's Call. I was like, thought I saw one. We do have a modal here as well, giving us 36. So first off, what do we have? We covered Yorion. We have Negate, so we got counter target non-creature spell. We have Omen of the Seas, so this feeds into the enchantments and permanents that we'll have to sack. But here, this enchantment is flash. When it enters the battlefield, we scry 2, then draw a card. Or for 3, we can sack it and scry 2. We have Good Old Eliminates. Here we can destroy target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 3 or less. We have Heartless Act, a great instant speed, and this one's also instant speed. Kill spell. Here, this one destroys target creature with no counters on it, or remove up to 3 counters from target creature. Then we have Golden Egg. So this is a nice little cantrip. When it enters the battlefield, we draw a card. We can sacrifice this, add 1 mana of any color, or for 2, we can sack it and gain 3 life. Then we have the good old Dance with the Manse. So this is a very powerful finisher for us. We get to return up to X artifact and or non-aura enchantment cards, each with converted mana cost X or less from our graveyard to the battlefield. If X is 6 or more, those permanents then become 4/4 creatures in addition to their other types. So very, very powerful. Then we have Omen of the Sun. So here we got a flash enchantment again. When it enters, we create two 1/1 white human creature soldiers. Then we gain 2 life, and we have the same thing that we did with the other Omen, where we can scry for 2 if we sack this and pay 3. We got good old Skyclave Apparition here. Again, one of my favorite cards from Zendikar Rising, preferably in terms of one of the strongest cards as well, coming out of the Plains or White color wheel here. So Skyclave enters the battlefield. We get to exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent our opponents or we don't control with converted mana cost 4 or less. When it leaves the battle play, our opponent or the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token, where X is the converted mana cost of that exiled card. So again, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control. So keep that in mind. Then we get Elspeth's Nightmare. This card is a very powerful saga. We got 3 things here. It enters, we destroy a creature our opponent controls with power 2 or less. We get a look at our opponent's hand. They discard a non-creature, non-land card from that. And then lastly, we get to exile target opponent's graveyard. We got good old Treacherous Blessing. So this is a nice draw card. So once it enters the battlefield, we get to draw 3 cards. And then whenever we cast the spell, we lose 1 life. But then when this becomes the target of a spell or ability, we get to sacrifice it. So it pairs well with Doom Foretold. We got Extinction Event. So not a creature-heavy deck, are we? So we have the ability to remove a lot of creatures with good old Extinction Event here. Exile each creature with converted mana cost of the chosen value. 0 is even, and we get to go odd or even here. We talked about Doom Foretold. We got Elspeth Conquers Death. Again, a very powerful saga here. For 3 things, the first one here, we get to exile target permanent an opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. Non-creature spells our opponents cast cost 2 more to cast until next turn. And then last but not least, we get to return a creature or a planeswalker from our graveyard, either add a +1/+1 counter onto it or a loyalty counter onto it. We also have mainboarded 3 other Yorions, and then we have, last but not least, Dimir Rogues Call, that good old modal land that I was looking for here, or you can call it Pain Lands, as I like to call it, or the Shockers, but we don't have to worry about that. Here, as Emerius Shattered Skyclave enters the battlefield, we can pay the 3 life, or it can come in tapped, our choice. And then for Emerius Call, another great card in terms of finishing, we get to create 2 white 4/4 white Angel Warrior creature tokens with flying. Non-angel creatures we control gain indestructible till next turn. So that is the main board, my friends. Really like this. Glad we're circling back. I did, and part of the reason why I'm doing that is in my last tier list, I realized that we did just a general Esper Doom deck, and we wanted to go and drill down and look at an Esper Yorion Doom deck as well. So I figured today was the day, coming off of the Zendikar Championship. All right, so here we go. In the sideboard, we got Cling to Dust. This is an instant speed spell where we can exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, we gain 3 life. Otherwise, we draw a card. And then for 4, we can exile 5 other cards from our graveyard. So this works really well against rogue decks, works well against mill decks, works well against decks where you got to remove stuff out of our opponent's graveyard. Could be a mirror match as well. It could be other decks that are utilizing the graveyard, like mid-range decks, like Rakdos mid-range, those kinds of things. Lots of good spots for this one. Then we got Negate, so counter target non-creature spell. I would run this against things like the Temur Ramp decks or Temur Ultimatum decks, Obosh Temur, Yorion Temur we just did, I think yesterday. So go ahead and check those out. Be very, very powerful there. Any control decks you want to run, things like Grixis, you can run against Izzet spells. Lots of great places. I'd run against mono black, mono red, or big red, control, those things running Ugins as well. It works well against those that are also running, which also could have worked well in this deck, actually, would have been Maze Mind too. We got a Heartless Act, so again, we got 3. We've covered this card already. I'd run this against creature-heavy decks, so this is going to be things like mono red, things like Boros Warriors, Boros Knights, Mardu Knights I've been seeing again a little bit more. You could run this against the kicker decks that we've played. You could run Negate against kicker decks. I would run it against Rogues decks as well. Lots of good places. Really mid-range to aggro, kind of a space for that. Then we got Mystical Dispute. So again, this spell counters any spell, but it costs 2 less to cast. Minus uncoverable spells. Costs 2 less to cast when it targets a blue spell, and again, it's a slip if they pay 3. Like I already mentioned, anything in the control space, anything mid-rangey, this will probably work well, or late game. I would play this against anything blue. You guys saw my mono blue devotion deck yesterday, which is pretty sweet comboing off. This one definitely hurts it, negate hurts it too. So you can keep those things in mind when you run into that one. But I would play this against the ultimatum decks. I'd play this against anything right blue. Yorion decks is great against. Again, mid-range to late game is going to be the space for this one. Then we got Archon of Sun's Grace. So here we got flying, lifelink, Pegasus creatures we control have lifelink, constellation. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield in our control, create a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying. I like this in aggro, I like it in mid-range, and I like it in late game. Just kind of depends on your play style. I think it bodes really well in the deck, gives you a lot of options, lots of things that you can do, and provides a little bit more support, chip damage, and over the top as well. I like it in the mirror match. I like it in the mirror match for sure. I like it against some of the mid-range stuff. Anything that's not really playing board wipe that you're going to run into, it's not a bad one. I wouldn't mind playing against Temur Ultimatum. It can be problematic, so you just got to be careful. You're going to want to be more controlly against that, I think. But you guys saw me play Temur Ultimatum with aversion, running Archon Sun's Grace as well. And we did win that match. So again, just really depends on the play style. But I really, really do like that card. Then last but not least, we got Heliod's Intervention here. So here we get to destroy X target artifacts or enchantments. Target player gains twice X life. This works well against Gruul aggro. Hits Great Henge, hits Cleave. So those are some things you can keep in mind. I really like this against all of the Doom decks. Esper deck, Orzhov, Mardu, all sorts of things in that space. Lots of good areas where you can play this one. I really, really think it's very powerful and can make or break matches too. So this is primarily going to fit, probably more so towards the late game, potentially against some of the mid-range and aggro-y stuff as well. Just kind of depends on what your matchup's going to look like. All right, Planeswalkers, that is the main board, that is the sideboard. Let's pull those two together in terms of our best of 3, and we'll walk through it in terms of aggro, mid-range, and late game. So first off, in the aggro department, if they aren't running a lot of if they're not running a lot of spells, aren't creature spells, I'd probably dump Negate. You're going to want to pull in Heartless Act. Like I said, you might want to pull in Archon of Sun's Grace. This is going to be too slow. That might not do you well, but if you need the life gain, you could play that. Also, if they're leveraging Graveyard, you could play this as well. We talked about the Rogues decks. You're going to play Rogues decks a little bit differently with things like Mystical Dispute. But let's say we go 4 cards. I'd remove the negates, and I'd keep these 2. The other stuff that you could consider removing that might not be as fast or as beneficial, you could always drop 2 lands if you wanted. You guys know me very well. You could also drop, if you wanted to, if they don't really go high on the curve, like Rogues, you could probably drop Elspeth's Conqueror's Death. You're not going to get as much value. You could always drop a Yorion. You may want to keep the Extinction Events because that's a 2-for-1 card, and if you get to 4, you're going to be looking pretty good. Other things that you could consider removing, I like the draws, I like the options in my 2 slot. This gets rid of something, that's good. You get blockers there, you're going to hit anything there. So that's kind of where I'd look to. Then when we get to the mid-range, a little bit different. You're probably going to want to keep some more of the control stuff. You might not be hitting as many creatures. So in that case, you'll have to eliminate Heartless Axe. Everything else you might be okay on, so that gives you 5. You could pull in the negates, you can pull in the Cling to Dust, that gives you 4. You could always put in the Archons if you wanted, or Archon, and Mystical Disputes, and potentially Heliod's. So let's go 4 to 8. Here again, I would look to potentially remove Extinction Event if you're not going to hit a lot of their creatures, so that would give you 8 if you go those routes potentially. So that's a good spot, and you could always drop on this end as well. Apologies. So now we'll move into the late game. So late game is going to be mirror matches. It's going to be things like the Yorion decks, could be ramp decks, those kinds of things. You're going to want to run Negate. You're probably going to want to run Mystical Dispute. You may want to do Arc and Sun's Grace, like I said. If you're running more creature-based stuff, definitely Heartless Act. And then also Cling to Dust potentially, or Heliod's Intervention, so just depending on what you're playing. So let's again consider 4 to 8 cards that you're at least going to flip in here. You're probably going to keep the Negates. You may get rid of the Eliminates, at least depending on if they're not creature heavy. You may keep the Heartless Act, or you may get rid of those. So that could be 5 for you there. Options again is I do like this in terms of just getting the discard at times, but Elspeth's Nightmare could be a consideration for you to cut something here. The other thing that you may look at again is Extinction Event. If they are playing similar match type here, you're probably not going to need Extinction Event. So that could give you 9, so that's a good healthy option. And again, if you need to assess the lands, that could work for you as well. All right, Planeswalkers, that is the Esper Yorion Doom deck. We've done the Esper deck, pretty similar. You guys can check that out. But that is what we got. Uh-oh, it did not. I gotta go grab that quick, sorry. That is what we have for today. So if you do have questions or comments, please let me know. Here to help. There we go. And you can please ask down below. Happy to help there. Again, deck list is available down below for you. You have access to the deck links, and you're good to go. So at this point, Planeswalkers, we're going to go ahead and play some competitive Magic. Feel free, again, to check the matches out. I'm very excited about that. And then we'll circle back and talk about the deck a little bit more. So we'll save and exit. Let us go ahead here and jump right into our standard rank. There's my good old Gruul deck we're playing today. Standard ranked, and we are off into the best of 1 here. Now, Planeswalkers, as we prepare for a match here, again, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch, stay up to date on content like this. Other ways to connect down below and support the channel down below in the description. Also just launched the YouTube membership stuff, so you guys can check that out, or feel free to become a patron or hop in the Discord and hang out with us. All right, so what do we got going on? We are first. We got Larissa Dream deck, probably Rogues. I'm going to keep this for now. Now, I need to decide here. I might go black. So they are Rogues. That's too bad. There we go. Alright, so we're good in the clear here. We'll be able to kill this. Ooh, the double rogue. And they'll be good. Nope, not good enough. So good news is we'll be able to look at their hand next turn, and then we can decide what we want to play and how we want to play it. So I'm not going to worry about Blood Chiefs here. So now we'll be able to lock them down. I'm gonna get rid of that for now. Ooh, we have to sack it though. So if we do this for 2, we get 2 eggs. Oof. The no lands hurt us big time. But we do have the draw, which is helpful. We got a long way to go. So we just need to play this out right. We will sack an egg. There we go. There we go. So we also have Yorion there. To play this just to get Skyclave back on a trigger. Well, we could play this again. see if they sack it. There we go. Alright. Finally getting some damage in. We gotta get Doom Foretold in. Alright, and we got a Mirius Call here. Let's go thin. Boom, we got it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Took down a Rogues deck in best of one with Esper Yorion Doom. So very nice. Lots of things going on there. We could have played a lot of different things, but we did ultimately come through with the win at a very, very tight pinch there. So very, very nice. Let's go on to our next match here. Looking forward to this. Big wins, putting up some big stuff here in Diamond today. So pretty excited, given I think we're like 7-8 days in. So, you know, didn't make my PR, but that's how it goes. I rushed it for like 2 days a little bit, and then just did not have the time, unfortunately. Could have made it, but just ran out of time. Got to keep producing this content for you guys. I mean, come on. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so let's see here. We got a good old 30-plus seconds here on the queue for best of one. Wow, the engine's having problems on matching us up. All right, here we go. Master Lee it is. All right, I will keep this. Keruga. Here we go. Excited about this one. So there's a nice Keruga deck I've seen. I'll be curious if it's the one that I'm thinking of, which would be, I'm going to keep this actually, which for thinning, which would be a Shrine deck. So it could very well be a Shrine deck. So we'll see. I've played a couple different ones. So, do you want the black? Why don't we do this? I don't have anything anyway besides this. I'm actually going to play Fable now and get my thinning out of the way. I'm going to go grab our planes. So we need 3 planes for Miria. Counter would have been nice, huh? Yeah, or it's a ramp, or it's a ramp. Ooh, I would be mad too. I would be mad too. Fast wins. Fast wins. Alright, well, we're 2-0 in best of one today. That is enough. You guys really saw the match anyway against the Rogues deck, so enough said there. We'll take the 2 and move into our best of 3 portion of today. Now again, there's the mono blue devotion deck actually that I did yesterday. It was the Teamer 1 Yorion deck the day before, but we are playing the Esper Yorion Doom deck today. Oops, let me just make sure. Apologies, did I go on the right thing? I think I did. I was a little distracted there. Okay, traditional standard rank. We're good. All right, so Planeswalkers, before we pop in here, no, no excuses in the right thing here. Just want to say thank you as always. Appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on daily drops and content like this headed your way. Now, also other ways to support the channel, Discord server link down below. Feel free to join us, hang out, stay a while. Also, feel free to become a patron. I'm running a sleeves giveaway event for that, and then also just dropped a YouTube membership, so that would be great to see you guys. All right, let's see here. Play first. Ooh, this is tricky. I'm actually gonna keep this, and I'm gonna do it because I have a lot of the low end plays, and I feel like I'm like right to hit or ripe to hit more of an aggro deck, particularly Gruul. So Eliminate and Heartless Act will help me fend that space. So we'll go ahead and take a look here with this. Oh, do I want to take? I got 2 of them. I got to get lands. Can't be that greedy. There it is, my friends. Did I call it? I called it. I called it. Told you. I called it. Now we're going to be in a problem, though, if we can't get any lands here. Getting aggressive, if I can. Not good against Gruul, to be honest. Here we go. So this hits it. Ooh, it's a Storm Herald deck. Ooh, let's get rid of that. That can hit me though. So we will do an eliminate here. So far I look like boards off. I really do. They haven't seen the blue. There's our blue. Keep that. Now this could be a challenge. We're gonna do this first. We will definitely keep Extinction Event. There's an on. Oh, it's gonna be close. Nine. Oh, there it is. Alright, so we gotta play this one a little bit differently. Graveyard Hate is good. Negates are good. Helions is good. Heartless Axe good. Clings, intervention, let's do those. This is all fine and dandy. Actually, let's shoot. I didn't mind that. This might be too slow, actually. We need to be narrow. We need to be narrow on this. Negate's not going to help us as much. We need 3 more. That does help, but those guys bring their stuff back. 1 more here. I'm going to drop 1 land. These will help get stuff out. We'll stick with these. I'm okay with that. Those help with the flings, but we'll have to, we'll just need to keep the creatures off the board and go from there. Oh, it's gonna be like that, huh? It's gonna be like that. Oh. Taking that for the cantrip. Let's do black. Let's look and get some lands. Oops. Now we can lock them in. Keep that. We have all the instant speed stuff that we need.
Dinosaurs? I love Ikoria. Every day is a new
Let's get rid of this. Alright, we can do this. Now, I could have waited. And that probably would have been the better play to see what they dropped, but we'll go from there. There's the Herald. There we go. Now we got locked down pretty good. For the moment, anyway. Let's see what we have in there. I don't even have enough exile there yet. We need Elspeth. This time we're gonna wait on it. Whoops. That's alright. We'll come back from this. What do we have in here anyway? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need one more land. There we go. Oh, we still need the one land. We're not getting it. Oh, they gave it to us. We still need the one land, man. Okay, so on to our third and final match here in the best of 3. I'm going to stick to what we got. It worked out just fine here for this match. Lots of different things going on. Lots of things happening. Extinction event definitely saved us. So we just need to keep those things in mind, and we'll go from there. Dino Kami. Alright, Planeswalkers. How are we doing here? We're doing pretty good. We got 3, I can live with this. No blue, though. There's our blue. block. Because this is 2 or less. I'll take the 3. Because we can do this. Go even. Of course, they got it. There. So is that lethal? It is lethal, so we have to play this. Have to play that. So a couple of different options here. We still have the Yorions that we can use. We got the golden egg we can use. The trample thing is going to be rough. So we need to draw into something here. And we did not. That is a whiff. What we should have done is that. Should have attacked in first there too, but that's all right. Oh, they had the storm anyway. And doesn't matter how we block. Oh, it was close. We didn't hit anything that we could have used. We had enough stuff, definitely, that we could have used to take Bone Crusher off, but did not go in our favor. Good game, nonetheless. We were so close to a sweep again. That's 2 back-to-back days, but I'll take it. Really, really fun matches, you guys. Went back to being even. That's how it goes. You know, I almost feel like I'd sooner win the best 3 match half the time, but hey, how it is. All right, so let's go ahead and check out what we got going on. Again, this was Andrea Minucci's Esper Yorion Doom deck, played in the Zendikar Rising Championship for the standard piece. Very, very nice, well put together deck. Really enjoyed it. It worked great in best of 1 for us. You know, we saw in best of 3 Storm Herald deck. Everyone's kind of likes to sneak that in now these days. So surprised that we actually end up playing that. But anyway, Planeswalkers. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Deck list is available for you down below. Deck links down below. Just again, always thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on daily drops like this. And then also other ways to support the channel down below in the description. Dropped our YouTube membership, so feel free to sign up for that. Additionally, you can become a patron as well. So, or hop in the Discord. So, Planeswalkers, final thoughts. Absolutely love this deck. Definitely tier 2, I believe. Potentially tier 1. I'd have to go back and look at my list, but I think it's in that space. So, or towards the higher end of tier 2. Hope you guys really liked it. I think this one runs really smooth. If you got questions on what to flip in, flip out, those kinds of things, always happy to help. So, Planeswalkers, you stay safe. I hope you guys enjoy this deck as much as I do. Please stay in tuned and stay online for the next one coming your way soon. All right, Planeswalkers, take care. I'll see you again. Mithras out.